Right now, today, this very moment, someone in your life is lying to you, and you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. And I am not talking about some stranger or some person on the internet. I am talking about someone you eat dinner with, someone you call on the phone, someone you would swear on your own life would never hurt you. I know this because I am 94 years old. I spent 33 years as a mail carrier, walking through your neighborhoods and driving through your streets and delivering your letters and your secrets to your front doors. And I have seen what people do when they think nobody is paying attention. My name is May, and I need to tell you something that is going to make you uncomfortable. But you need to hear it right now, before you waste another single year of your life being naive. I delivered mail for the United States Postal Service starting in 1959. I was 29 years old. I had 3 small children and a husband named Gerald, who everybody in our neighborhood thought was a good man. I walked my route 6 days a week in the heat and the cold and the rain and the snow. And at first, it was just a job. You pick up the bag, you walk the route, you put the envelopes in the box, you move on. But after a few years, something happens when you are the mail carrier. You start to see things. Not because you are snooping, not because you are reading anything, but because you are there. You are there every single day at the same houses, and you start to notice the patterns. You start to notice what shows up and what stops showing up. You start to notice when the Christmas cards from a certain family member quit coming. You notice when the nice stationery gets replaced by envelopes from law offices. You notice when someone starts getting letters from a bank in another state that nobody in the house knows about. I was not spying on anyone. I was just doing my job. But my job put me in a position that most people never get to be in. I was invisible, and I was consistent, and people forgot I was watching. Let me tell you something that is going to sound harsh. Most of the people you trust have a version of themselves that you have never met. I do not say that to scare you. I say it because I watched it happen on my route for over 3 decades. I would see a couple at church on Sunday looking like the happiest people alive. And then on Monday, I am delivering a separation agreement to their mailbox. I would see a man wave to me every morning with a big smile, and I knew, because I saw the envelopes, that he was drowning in debt he had never told his wife about. I saw families that looked perfect from the outside get mail from attorneys and collection agencies and courts, and I would watch those families smile and wave at their neighbors like everything was fine. People perform. That is what people do. They perform for the people closest to them, and they perform for the people watching from the outside. And the only time the mask slips is when they think nobody can see it. Now, I want to be clear about something. I am not sitting here telling you that every person in your life is a liar. That is not what I am saying. What I am saying is that you are probably not watching closely enough. And the reason you are not watching closely enough is because trust feels good. It feels warm. It feels safe. And when something feels safe, you stop paying attention. That is the trap. That is the exact trap. The people who get hurt the worst are not the suspicious ones. The suspicious people, they might be annoying. They might be hard to be around, but they rarely get blindsided. The ones who get destroyed are the ones who say things like, "Oh, I just trust my gut," or "I am a good judge of character," or "He would never do that to me." Every single person I ever saw get gutted by a betrayal said one of those things first. Every one. I know because it happened to me. Gerald and I were married for 22 years before I found out. 22 years. He had a post office box at a branch across town. He had been getting letters from a woman in Kentucky for over 10 years. 10 years. And I did not find out because he told me. I did not find out because I went looking. I found out because a co-worker at another branch mentioned it to me like it was nothing, like I already knew. She said something like, "Oh yeah, Gerald's box." And I just stood there. I remember the floor under my feet. I remember the fluorescent lights above me buzzing. And I remember thinking, this cannot be right, because I know this man. I know everything about this man. I sleep next to this man. I cook for this man. I wash this man's clothes. There is no way. But there was a way, and that is the part that nobody wants to accept. You think you know someone fully. You think that because you see them every day, because you share a bed, because you share children, because you share a life, that you have the full picture. You do not. You have the picture they are letting you see. And I am telling you this not to make you paranoid. I am telling you this because the sooner you accept it, the less it will hurt when the truth comes out. And the truth always comes out. Maybe not today, maybe not this year, but it comes out. On my route, I watched it come out over and over and over again. The letter that was not supposed to arrive on that day. The envelope that got put in the wrong box. The return address that someone forgot to leave off. It always comes out. So what do you do with that? What do you do when a 94-year-old woman tells you that the people you trust might not deserve all of it? I will tell you what you do. You start watching. Not in a paranoid way, not in a way that turns you into someone who cannot enjoy your life, but you start paying attention to the things you have been ignoring because it was easier to ignore them. You start noticing when someone's words do not match what they do. You start noticing when someone tells you one thing on Monday and a different thing on Friday and acts like they never said the first thing at all. You start noticing when someone only calls you when they need something. You start noticing the patterns. I spent 33 years noticing patterns, and I can tell you that people are remarkably consistent when you actually watch them. Liars do not lie once. They lie in patterns. Selfish people are not selfish once. They take in patterns. People who will betray you do not just wake up one day and decide to betray you. They have been practicing. They have been testing the boundaries. They told a small lie, and you let it go. They broke a small promise, and you made an excuse for them. They crossed a small line, and you moved the line. And each time you moved that line, you told them without saying a word that they could keep going. That is how betrayal works. It is not a lightning bolt. It is erosion. It is slow and steady, and by the time you notice the damage, the foundation is already gone. Let me tell you about a house on my route. I am not going to use real names because that is not the point. There was a family, nice house, 2 cars in the driveway, kids in the yard. The husband was friendly, always said good morning. The wife was sweet. She would leave me a bottle of water on the porch in the summer. They looked like the kind of people you would want to live next to. For about 7 years, I delivered normal mail to that house. Birthday cards, bills, magazines, catalogs, the usual. Then one day I noticed a letter from a law firm. Then another one the next week. Then certified mail that someone had to sign for. Then the wife stopped leaving me water on the porch. Then the husband stopped saying good morning. Then one day there was a for sale sign in the yard, and I never saw either of them again. I do not know exactly what happened in that house. I did not need to know. But I know that whatever it was, it did not start the day I saw that first letter from the law firm. It started years before that. It started with something small that one of them ignored. You are ignoring something small right now. I would bet my life on it. There is something in your relationship or your friendship or your family or your workplace that does not sit right, and you have been telling yourself it is nothing. You have been telling yourself you are overreacting. You have been telling yourself that you should just trust them because that is what good people do. Good people trust. That is what we are taught. Trust your partner. Trust your family. Trust your friends. Give people the benefit of the doubt. And I am telling you at 94 years old that the benefit of the doubt has cost me more than anything else in my entire life. I gave Gerald the benefit of the doubt for 22 years. When he said he was working late, I believed him. When he said he was going fishing with his buddy Ray, I believed him. When he was quiet and distant for weeks at a time, I told myself he was just stressed from work. I made excuses for things that did not need excuses. They needed questions. But I did not ask the questions because I was afraid the answers would ruin the life I thought I had. And that is the real reason people do not watch. It is not because they are stupid. It is not because they are too trusting. it is because they are terrified. They are terrified that if they look too closely, they will see something they cannot unsee. And then they will have to do something about it. And doing something about it means their life changes. And change is a thing people fear more than being lied to. I stayed with Gerald for 8 more years after I found out. 8 years. You want to know why? Because I had 3 children and a mortgage, and I went to church every Sunday, and people in my life expected me to stay. People expected me to forgive. People told me that marriages go through rough patches. People told me to think about the kids. And I listened to those people. I trusted those people and their advice. And those 8 years were the worst 8 years of my life. I was not living. I was performing. I was doing exactly what I saw so many families on my route do, smiling on the outside, crumbling on the inside, and hoping nobody noticed. But somebody always notices. The mail carrier notices. The neighbor notices. The kid who is old enough to hear the arguments at night notices. When I finally left, my youngest was 16. She told me she had been waiting for me to leave since she was 12. 12 years old, and she knew before I was willing to admit it to myself. Children watch. They are the best watchers there are. They do not have the same ability adults have to convince themselves that what they are seeing is not real. A child sees their parent being lied to, and they know. They might not have the words for it, but they know. So here is my advice to you, and I do not care if you are 25 or 55 or 70. Stop trusting people based on how they make you feel, and start trusting people based on what they consistently do. Feelings are the easiest things in the world to manipulate. A person can make you feel loved and be lying to your face. A person can make you feel safe and be the most dangerous person in your life. A person can make you feel like you are the only one who matters and have 3 other people they are telling the same thing to. Feelings are not evidence. Patterns are evidence. What someone does on a regular Tuesday when nothing is at stake and nobody is watching, that is who they are. I delivered mail in the rain, in the snow, on days when it was so hot the asphalt was soft under my shoes. And I watched. I watched for 33 years. I watched marriages fall apart and friendships end, and business partners sue each other, and parents stop speaking to their children. And in almost every single case, the signs were there long before the explosion. The signs are always there. You are just choosing not to see them. And let me say one more thing before I go. This is not about becoming a cold person. This is not about shutting people out or building walls or deciding that nobody is worth your time. I have people in my life that I love deeply. My children, my grandchildren, my neighbor Carol, who checks on me every morning, my friend Patsy, who I have known since 1967. I trust these people, but I trust them because I have watched them for years and years, and what they say matches what they do. I did not just hand them my trust because they were nice to me or because they said the right things. They earned it, and that is the difference. Trust should be earned slowly and lost quickly. Most people do it the other way around. They give trust away like it is free, and then when someone breaks it, they spend years trying to get over it. You do not have years to waste. I promise you that. I am 94. I blinked and I was here. I blinked and my kids were grown and my husband was gone and my route was someone else's route. And the houses I used to deliver to have new families in them who have no idea I ever existed. Time does not care about your feelings, and it does not wait for you to figure things out. So figure it out now. Watch the people in your life. Watch what they do, not what they say. And if something does not feel right, do not push that feeling down. That feeling is the only thing trying to protect you. I am May. I am 94 years old. I walked your streets for 33 years, carrying your mail and your secrets. And the biggest secret I can tell you is this. The person most likely to hurt you is the person you would never suspect. Not because they are evil, but because you stopped watching.